All right, I think we're live. Like we were just live together. I feel like we've already done this today.
I feel like we do this all the time. Everybody probably just thinks we just sit around with drinks in our hand all the time. I mean,
That's
we
probably
do,
right. I mean, because we did this last week. We did as part of like our live forever. I don't even know how long we were live. 12 hours. It's felt like 6 days. And yeah, we did it. And then we were just live moments ago with Andrea and Megan and Evan and Bree talking about the ambassadors program. And those, by the way, those applications that's now closed, so the form will not work anymore. We got way more than we needed, which is great, and we love it. So that will be open again sometime at some point. Right now, we're talking about something else. So, what are you drinking today? What do you got?
I am just going with a nice Sam Adams today. It's a purple Sam Adams.
I know, I was gonna say it's purple. What is that? What's the?
What is it? It's from the sampler pack. So it's
okay.
Mountain Berry. Wish me luck.
Does it have like berry in there, like a berry flavor? A hint, maybe.
It does. I mean, it's not like a Mike's Hard Lemonade or anything, so we're not going there.
Oh yeah,
but
sure.
It's still got the Sam Adams taste to it. It's not bad.
Okay,
not bad.
Okay.
It'll work on a nice hot summer day.
All right. Hey Adam, what's going on? Holly, good to see you. That's good. I went with bourbon.
With bourbon, there you go.
I do my Knob Creek, but I do it in my Southern Comfort glass. I don't know, whatever. It's Knob Creek, so we're doing good. What do you want to talk about?
It's funny because we were literally talking before we went live, and then we were like, "Oh, let's go live," because otherwise we don't know what to talk about. I don't remember what we were talking about. I don't know what your vacation. We're talking about vacation coming up.
Oh, we don't need to talk about that nonsense.
Well, do you actually take time off and do you get off the grid? What are we all going to do with ourselves for the next however long you're going to be gone?
I don't really get off the grid. I don't really like, I actually don't like disconnecting just because it's
more stress than anything.
I like having the ability to, and the team provides me with that. So I will get yelled at when I continually try to check in and see what's going on. They'll just tell me to shut up or stop checking or whatever. Chuck, good to see you, sir. So, I do get to disconnect. So like, there'll be nothing on my day-to-day, task list or anything like that. But I enjoy checking in, so I'll pay attention to things. I'll drop into lives. Like I'm still playing. Like we'll do our live too, but like
absolutely,
I enjoy checking with the team, calling, seeing what's going on. I kind of miss it when I'm not around. So, and I'm not like out in the middle of nowhere, so it's not like when we go up to the cottage. That's a little more forced disconnection because you kind of, it's solar power up there. There's not as much. We don't actually have the internet and stuff, so it's a little bit different. But this is different. So we're going, we're just going to the beach to social distance a little bit down there. So it'll be a good time. But
are you planning on any like Chariots of Fire or Rocky 2, like just running on the beach, doing that kind of thing, or just soaking in the water?
Definitely run on the beach. I love running on the beach. I enjoy it. I'll probably I've laid out a bunch of paths for like a bunch of different distances down there and stuff. So the island has one of the big bridges that goes up and over the intercoastal. So I'm really excited. I want to run that.
Okay.
So I'm going to run down the island over that and out. There's a golf course right off the island, so I'm going to like run through there a little bit and stuff. But technically, with my recovery plan, I'm only supposed to go like up to like 4 miles or something at the most next week. So. Okay. I won't go that far. That's like I can run the island. It's kind of like that. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. It's also a little hotter down there, typically. So, right now it's showing like the first 4 days or something going to be all storms. So we'll see how it goes. But I do plan on running. And then the rest of the time I just going to be lounging in the sand. And then, my brother will be down there with us. He's a great cook. So we're just going to cook out because we're not going anywhere. We're making sure not to go by anyone. We're, staying away from everything because that was sort of our agreement. We're like, hey, we'll still go, but we're going to like go strict social distancing from anyone else and stuff. So
I feel like I need to make that agreement no matter where I go, when I go. Just I'll go anywhere you guys want, but just don't make me talk to people. Don't make me interact. As long as I can stay on the beach, in an island, go for runs, I'm good.
Yeah. That's the way
perfect
it is.
Vacation, man.
Yeah. So if you ran like 30 something miles recently, like have you done that again?
I have not done that again. That's a one and done. But I'm getting myself now to where I'm consistent. It's super weird. So I've tried to do the run streak thing before. People like Sarah Johnson and Jay Post, like they go out there and Cass Nelson, they do these crazy run streaks. I don't know if you know Jay from Wisconsin, but he's been running like every day since 1986, which is insane.
That's insane.
Which is, it's ridiculous.
Awesome.
But I hear stories like that, and I'm like, oh, I can go do that. And he's never gone less than 2 miles on a run. And I'm like, I can do that. I'll get 2 weeks in and start to feel like shin splints and I'm like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. But I've gone 20 days in a row now of running.
Wow.
And I know, and I'm feeling super pumped, but it's because I'm not trying to get a streak. I'm just trying to build a bunch of miles up right now. Going 4, 5, 6, 7 miles at a time and just trying to be consistent as opposed to doing any more megas, ultras, any of that craziness. So,
that's cool. So, it was pretty awesome. Dave actually jumped in with me for about a mile.
We're only gonna say a mile because
we're gonna say a mile on Sunday when I did my first marathon and stuff. So that was kind of cool. We got to run for a little bit. You're doing right now the Michigan across the state, right?
I'm doing the Ohio, top to bottom.
I'm doing. I can't remember.
Which one's bigger? It's like a square, basically, right?
I think I'm doing east to west. I went with the shorter one.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. I know I have like 170 miles left to go. I know that.
That's awesome. So. I love it. When you enter your miles every day, I don't know if the Ohio one does or not, but you enter your miles every day and then it updates you on a little map and I do the Michigan hand. You can see where you are in Michigan on your little trek up. So
I should look into whether they have that or not. I have my own sheet that when I do it calculates and tells me the difference. So I just set that up in a Google sheet, but that's interesting. They probably do because I think it's all connected.
Okay.
I think it's a group that does it across and they just do all the different states or like they have state chapters.
Gotcha.
That's interesting. I don't know if they do that. I need to look into that. That would be much cooler than what I'm doing. So I guess I'll look into that. Yeah. So, whatever.
For the record, it is definitely much cooler to run across Michigan than Ohio. You are absolutely correct.
Why do you think that?
I've driven through Ohio before. Other than Bob Evans billboards on the side.
So, all right. If you put two people and had them drive 100 miles through Ohio and 100 miles through Michigan, they would not be able to tell you which one it is if there were no signs.
Well, you drive 100 miles through Michigan, you're crashing into lakes. So, yeah. Because Michigan...
you don't take roads. The same thing in Ohio. There's lakes in Ohio. We just don't split our state up.
But our lakes don't catch on fire.
That's true. Yet.
That's true. Yeah.
I'm working on something for you. No. So anybody watching, if anybody has I'm completely changing the subject. If anybody knows a brewery or distillery that would like to sponsor this little nonsense that's ridiculous, that'd be great. So let me know. Anybody want to jump in with us? Let me know if you want to jump in. We'll send you a link. You guys can come in.
We probably need to provide some valuable content now that we're out there soliciting.
Let's talk about some content. Yeah, what kind of content do we need? Let's talk content. So let me ask you this, just because I'm in this spot right now. I said I wasn't going to let it go running, but that's something that we do talk about because we both do. But when you did was it 33?
33, yep.
33. Are you in? Because that wasn't that long ago. Like, what was your recovery from that other than just being in pain?
Yeah. So I'll rewind because I've made different mistakes and listened to different people's advice multiple times. So this was my 5th marathon distance that I've done. And my first one was back in 2005. After 2005, honestly, when I finished that marathon, I was, without exaggeration, in the fetal position at the finish line, bawling hysterically for no reason. I mean, I was just literally crying and overwhelmed. And then the next day was up and running again. Granted, that was 15 years ago, but I was just up and running, wasn't listening to any wisdom or any advice. I left it all on the course and then was just out there running again. Fast forward 15 years, and I told you I can't run consecutive days in a row without being in pain and without coming up with excuses. When I did the 33, the next day, my muscles were okay, but this is gonna be way too much TMI. The chafing was insane, and the chafing kept me on the couch. Yeah, there was not a whole lot of
Monday was
friction.
Some of that hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
That went away. It went away very quickly, which I was happy about. But
yeah,
that hurt. Yeah.
So
I didn't cry.
Okay. I saw that, but you had an amazing finish line. That was incredible.
That was awesome. My wife, my neighbors came out, and in-laws, the kids chalked all over the driveway and stuff. What was funny about that is I was coming to the end, and I'm like, I think I have it timed up pretty good where I'm going to finish like right in front of the house. And I come around like the onto my street, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to. I need to go a little bit further, and I don't want to go past my house and have to come back. So I turned down the side street that was just the couple houses down from my house, and I had it all wrong because I finished on that street, and I'm like, oh. So I'm like, I'm done. My headphones are like, oh, you're done. I'm like, I got to turn around. I'm cramping up. Like my legs were hurting at that point. I'm like, all right. So I kind of walk back to like, I'm like walking back on that street until I know that they're going to be able to see me. I'm like, I got to finish. Like they're all there for me. So like I had already finished, and then I ran like this extra like 100, yards or whatever to get to them. So when I got there, I was kind of like already over it, which is weird. And then, but it was awesome. I was good to get there, and they had, I had called my wife like while I was running. I'm like, hey, can you get me just a big glass of ice water? Like, because my water that I've got with me is hot right now, and I'm just dumping it on myself. And she had a chair out there and stuff too, so I could just sit. And then that was good. I ended up going out back.
Man, you're picking up kids above your head. I mean, it was insane.
Impressive. My daughter Jacqueline had her pom poms out and go nuts. Yeah, I was pretty pumped. Yeah, I felt good. I mean, my legs hurt, like I was dead, but I felt good. And the last 2 days I felt good, but my legs have really hurt. Today they're sore, but they don't hurt anymore, if that makes sense. Like they're a little sore or whatever. Yeah. Like I'm very well aware of what I did a couple days ago, but I'm not in pain anymore. I'm fine. My office and my closet are downstairs, so I go up and down all the time. So the last 2 days I got a lot of workout with hurting legs, so I'm feeling good. Tomorrow will be my first day. I'll get out tomorrow and do like 2 miles or something.
Do you implement any of Ray's yoga? Are you a stretching kind of guy or?
So that's one of the things that when I got injured now over, a year and a half ago, after I had been, training originally, and I got injured, and what really messed some things up for me. Prior to that, I had gotten more flexibility than I ever had in my entire life because I stretched every single day, every morning, every night. Really worked at it, and I got away from that. I got to get back to that because I'm still not there. So Ray actually sent me the yoga challenge that she's doing because she started it again.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm gonna use that to try and get my flexibility back. I haven't started yet. I got to figure out how I want to plan that out. Whether I want to try and whether I'm going to consistently do it on vacation or not. I might have to start. Maybe I'll start there. I don't know. I haven't looked into it enough yet, but so I do need to try to implement some of that just to get better at the stretch. Because it's crazy what just stretching every day can do for you.
So true.
It's amazing. So
I feel like there's so many metaphors in that, the idea of flexibility and balance and stretching yourself, all that kind of stuff. But I'm not going to go. Well, I will a little bit.
Just go there.
Probably I don't know, a decade or so ago.
I'm with you.
I was in the whole tough mudders and those mud obstacle runs. I was trying to do some of those, and those are a blast if you've never done those before. Those are epic. But I was doing a couple every summer just to challenge myself, and every race, every course, no matter where I was. I mean, I'm killing on monkey bars and push-ups and flipping tires and all that. But you get to a balance beam, a stupid little balance beam, and I'm falling off every single time on every course. I have no balance, no dexterity, because primarily I don't take the time to stretch and to find my balance and all of that coordination stuff. I don't do it because I don't sit still well. So working out by being stagnant and still is so hard for me. So hard. Like even stretching at night, I feel like I don't want to take even 5 or 10 minutes to stretch because I feel like I'm wasting my time. But I know it's a weakness of mine, and I don't know how to overcome that. So I don't know.
I guess stretching.
Well, just do it. Yeah, I guess, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's one I've never been that flexible. Yeah, I use a foam roller. I actually got it. Oddly enough, kept it pretty close by because it hasn't been that long. So Holly's asking there. They do work. It was funny. When I injured my ankle and I went to when I actually went to like rehab and had a PT that worked with me and he was like, you have a foam roller? And I said, yeah. He goes, good. He goes, have you given it a name yet? And I said, no. He goes, you got to give it a name. Someone you don't like. I'm like, why? He's like, because you're going to swear at it every time you use it if you use it properly. I'm like, I get you. And I do. I named it Dave.
That's awesome.
Actually, I named it Jeff. So I yell at it. It's like yelling at myself. But no, I use it. I think that helped my legs a lot. I didn't do it as much as I probably should have or could have because it just hurt.
Yeah.
Kind of pansy like that, but it works. So
what I just ordered? Have you seen those ads? I'm sure you have, all over Amazon or even like through my Instagram feed, those little massage guns that are like insane. I just ordered one of those. It hasn't arrived yet, but I'm terrified and super excited at the same time.
You got to let me know how that works.
Well, yeah, maybe next week I'll just sit here and shoot myself as we're talking.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. I did find this. I think I showed you. I don't know if I did this on live or before, but I hadn't put this up yet.
That's awesome.
I did my first 13-1 a while back, and I'm like, oh, I should. I'm like, I
can't remember. Is it a sticker or a magnet?
This is a sticker, so that'll go on my laptop, and then I've got a Chad sent me a 26-2 one. Because Chad's my biggest cheerleader. So awesome. It was really good. So, Jen, it's like reflecting at the end of a lesson. I can skip it, but I'll be better at teaching that. That's a great.
That's deep. Well played.
I like that. I go between that and Tiger Balm. Andrew, are you talking about? Someone asked the BioFreeze. Do you use BioFreeze or anything like that? Do you do any do you put like oil on or anything like? I don't do any of that stuff.
No.
I
probably should.
I just put my legs in some super cold water in the kiddie pool yesterday or on Sunday. That's what I did.
I mean, I literally complain every morning and every night about how sore my legs are. I walk like Frankenstein a lot of the times. But I don't do any of the stuff. But I don't do anything about it. I just fight through it and say that's what it is. Yes, that.
I drink bourbon. That's my BioFreeze.
You're right. Yeah, I feel great in the middle of the day. It's the other times when when I'm not indulging. Yeah.
Understandable. So, what else you want to talk about? What's going on in your world? What's anything cool? Anything exciting?
Summertime. Summertime is an interesting time because you feel like things are supposed to slow down, but they feel like they're even busier than normal. Are you experiencing that right now too? I feel like many. It's just like everything's opening up and people are just. It's like I don't know. I'm just busy right now.
I can feel that. I can relate to that for sure. I think that's definitely how I feel. It's busy. Now I'm, getting ready to leave for a little bit and stuff like that. So I feel that, a little extra, just like getting ready for stuff. But then we had, we just had the launch of the ambassador program, which, Megan and Andrea really led that, but there's still a lot of pieces that I have to play, at least logistically and stuff like that. So I feel that. And then I'm like, I got to do this. I got to do that. And I'm like, if I can just get through all this, then I get to drinks with Dave and I'm good.
There you go. But
then I'm not, I'm drinking, but I actually got a podcast I'm recording a little bit after this, about an hour from now, with Trey Gamage. So excited to get on that and stuff. So, but yeah, it's just constantly busy. But I also I like that in a lot of ways. Like I enjoy, I complain about it, but I actually enjoy like the chaos, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, I completely resonate with that. I'm looking at Lindsay Titus on here saying she's still got school. Like she's still doing it, which is that doesn't resonate with me. I feel like everybody should be done. I don't know.
Yeah. There's a few.
She's in New York though, so
there's a few schools going to the end of the month, like all the way to the 30th. I know a bunch are just, I think, are wrapping up tomorrow. During the live we did that. We talked about it with someone, and a bunch of people were posting. We had a lot of 19th. I think it was a lot of New York.
Yeah.
But like Livia's up, in BC. I think they go to the 30th. As well. So that's all next week again. So
has Ohio said what they're doing next year? Is it still ambiguous?
The most concrete that I've seen is that they, quote unquote, fully intend to fully open.
Yeah.
I think almost, it seems like every state's supposed to find out a lot more like on July 1.
Okay.
Is when a lot of people are going to do it. I think Ohio, from what I'm reading, looking, it sounds to me like what they're going to do is they're going to say you can open here's the guidelines, or I don't even know if they can call them guidelines so much as recommendations for social distancing, and then they're going to leave it up to, like Adam just saying, they're going to leave it up to the school boards to make the decision. So I think in Ohio you're going to have some that say we're we're full on open, but we have these things in place. I think you have some that say, we were talking to someone yesterday where they're going to do 7 through 12 is actually going to be fully virtual to start. And K to 6 is going to do like a half and half schedule, like a rotating schedule and stuff. So it was Adam and Bree are jumping in. So they're able to go back. So she says Ohio says K through 5 is all day. It was just announced, but it looks like it's going to be what I've heard again and again is it's going to be up to individual school districts. And I think to me that kind of makes sense because you're going to have some where, I know you surveyed your staff or your parents and 30% of them said not coming back no matter what, unless they get a vaccine or whatever. You can have others where no one has an issue and every kid comes back, right? Because maybe it wasn't as impacted. Our county was impacted as far as cases, but not death rate. Our school, our district, not any that I know of, there were no cases verified or anything like that. So theoretically, maybe everyone's comfortable enough to go back, but maybe not. So they just sent out a survey to all of us parents about, how did remote learning go? And also how are you thinking about, for would you send your kid back, stuff like that. So we're going to see what happens. So Michigan have they laid anything out?
Our governor made a speech today that said basically what you just mimicked for Ohio is what we're looking at here. She came out and said, we fully intend to be face-to-face in the fall, but with certain guardrails and recommendations and all of that as well. So it's going to be interesting.
I think you're going to see that in a lot of states because I think it's the right thing. I think they need to put out recommendations, guidelines for social distance and stuff like that. But I think it needs to come down to the individual communities making decisions based on what the community wants and feels comfortable with.
Even beyond that, the individual parents. I know you and I talked about this a little bit a few weeks ago. I don't know if we were live or not, but there are some people that aren't going to go back because they're afraid of COVID. There are other people that might not want to go back simply because they realize, it kind of worked for me not having my kid in school, or maybe you're a parent and you actually liked having your kids home and having a little bit more time with them. I feel like it allowed people to see so many different perspectives and opportunities and options right now. It's up to all of us to make sure that we can honor all of that. Even if we're allowed to go back, now we still have to honor the needs and wishes of our parents as well. So it's definitely an interesting time.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Holly says she's waiting to see. So Holly, that's a unique perspective as a teacher who's also a parent in the district, being able to fill out a survey of how two very different lenses there.
And I wonder if you answer it the same way through both lenses.
Yeah, Holly, that's interesting. Did you answer the same way, or were you as a parent, I'm nervous, but as a teacher, I'm come on back in. Right. I mean, that's interesting to see. It's gonna be really. I think through July is when we're gonna really find out a lot of stuff. I actually I had 2 or 3 conversations today with district level administrators who are all they were all just waiting for July 1. So we
get to that new fiscal year and we'll figure out what's
happening. We have ideas, but we have no idea what is going to be allowed or required, whatever. And then the crazy thing is come September, everything could change because things it moves so fast. I mean, you think about this, it's been 3 months of all this junk anyway. It's just nuts. So she said she was consistent. That's good, Holly. Good to know.
And even beyond the idea of what's going to be permissive, it's what can states and districts afford even. I mean, that's a whole nother level. Here in Michigan, we are primarily funded by sales tax. They switched that over a decade ago. It used to be property taxes, which tend to be stable and things like this. But sales tax took a beating here over the last 3 or 4 months. So schools, the coffers are dry right now. And even if they say you can go face to face, will schools still look like it used to, or should it look like it used to? I mean, so many other variables come into play now.
And the additional expenses that come into play when you have to put some of those pieces in place, because most likely you're going to need to provide the virtual access and ability to be virtual, but also probably a space in there if you decide to go back. Transportation might change, which sounds small, but if you have to run buses more often or in different routes or additional routes, that's gas, which adds up a lot over the school year. and then you have to assess, like, if you're only using half the building, is that really worth because you're still, you're still heating the whole building or cooling the whole building, and all that stuff. So there's just a lot to think of at the state level and the community level of what makes the most sense, because then if you don't open the school because of the cost that you will save by not opening the building back up, not running the buses, can you invest that money into other things that are better? And is that the right decision or not?
Yeah.
Like,
and I said, aside from that, even people's expectations are going to be dramatically different in the fall as well. So there's going to be a cost associated with meeting expectations, because this spring there was a lot of grace being thrown around that this wasn't the game anybody was expecting to play, and we were all just thrown into it. But in the fall, people are choosing this. And when people make a choice, it's a lot different than being forced to do something. And they're choosing this because they expect quality right now. So are we prepared to provide that? And have we provided the resources to provide that in a rich, engaging way?
I think it's going to go both ways, because students also got a lot of grace.
Oh, that's the truth. And
we can't continue to give that same level of grace, because we have to make sure that we're assessing properly and we're doing the feedback and helping them grow, which means we have to have higher standards, or else it's not going to work long term. And so my worry is that I think you're going to have some parents that go, man, my student did great with virtual learning, and not realizing, but we didn't really assess their learning as targeted and as strenuous as we should, as targeted as we should. So is it actually good? Is it actually better? Did they actually learn better, in a virtual learning? And was it different because they knew their teacher? Now they're going to have to get to know them virtually and stuff. So it's going to be all over. And was
it truly better because you didn't have to argue with your kid to get up in the morning and get dressed and brush their teeth, and you didn't have to argue with them to do their homework every day, and they got to pass fail? Or is it better because they learned more? And do we really know? So it's definitely going to be a different environment.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see just in general how the world, like I'm really interested to see how businesses change. Big one primarily is like the commercial real estate industry, like all these companies realizing that they don't need to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars a year for office space because everything seemed to go just fine when they weren't there.
True story. Yeah,
and things like that. And I think I hope a lot of are going to realize that the required 40-hour work week probably isn't as required as you thought it was, and
so true.
Tracking hours isn't as required as you thought it was, because it's more about performance, just like it should be about mastery and standards.
That's
not time in the classroom, right? So Chad said it on a webinar we on recently. He said, a student can very easily check in virtually every day and learn nothing, but another student could also check in once a week and master everything.
So true.
Because it's so students, right? Just like a student could sit in your class for 50 minutes and learn nothing, or a student sit in your class for 10 minutes and learn everything as well. So it's going to be interesting. There is no there's no one size fit all answer at all, and I don't know if there's any really great answers at this point. I think it's a lot of.
Well, I think it's super interesting, and I'm excited if the governors do continue to come out and say make the best decisions for your school and your community. For people to now sit around and actually determine what those best decisions are. Because it's one thing to sit around and say, we can't do something, we have to do something because the people above us or the government is telling us what we have to do. But now that we have to start making those decisions about what's best, have we had those conversations and have we had those discussions already about what truly is best? And if you're still sitting around waiting for somebody else to tell you what to do, and you haven't had those conversations yet, now's the time to start talking.
And you need to be having those conversations all the way down to your classroom level of what worked, what didn't work for me, what's going to work, what's not going to work. And then you can fit that in or figure out, if you need to fit that within I can or I can't do these things, that's one thing. But and I think you're going to see that, because I think the states are going to say your choice, which if you really look at that's our national government did that.
Right.
Said, hey, it's kind of on you, governors.
Yep.
And so it's another thing, governors have to do because at the same time, most people as a whole, we don't want to be told what to do and restricted, because if my community wants to be back in the school and everyone feels perfectly safe because we're taking the right measures and everyone's fine and that's where we want to be, but the state says I can't because these 3 counties are still struggling, that's not fair to my community. Right? So that should be, I think, into that community level stuff, but that just makes it really hard on the community level because they also don't necessarily have access to the same data and tools that the state level has. So hopefully the states will be dripping down what needs to be provided, but time will tell. So
true.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. So, anyway, I want to share something real quick. We're excited about this. I don't know if you're aware of this. Let me see if I can. Can I do this? Where's that? We'll do this real quick. Can you see my screen?
Teach better swag.
So we had some updates here. We got a sweet collection here for Pride Month.
That's
if anybody's
awesome.
Interested in that. Anyone who knows me knows that I consider myself an ally. My older brother is gay, and that's a very important thing for me. And this was something that took us way too long to put together. But we do have some shirts and tanks, more stuff coming. So, head over there. I'm gonna put it in. I haven't put it in yet. I'm gonna put in a code, Schmittou, for 25% off.
Sweet.
Schmittou. So you got to figure out how to spell that first.
Good luck.
But if you can figure out how to spell it,
take a screenshot
of your name there. Figure out how to spell it, and I'll enter it here in a couple minutes. Or I don't know. Maybe I'll just go do it right now while I'm talking to you because who cares? So
that's awesome, man.
We're excited about that. We have some more cool things coming. We're gonna add more to that. If anybody has any ideas, we're loving that swag stuff. Like, it's a lot of fun to kind of come up with ideas and create things and push it out there. So we're excited about that. Excited about the ambassador stuff. Pumped to have you as a part of that. We already talked about that, but now you got a drink in your hand. So now I want
the filter's gone.
get no filter here. I'm gonna get you talking. So I'm gonna go put in the code.
Yeah.
So, can you tell me like how you said it, and I liked how you say it. So I'm gonna ask you to, I don't necessarily say it again, but when we reached out, when Megan and Andrew reached out to you, we didn't have a ton of details. We just kind of like, hey, we got this thing going on. We think you'd be a good fit to help us kick it off. What do you think? And we talked about it earlier that you and Evan and Bree and Livia and Lindsay all said yes right away. So what went through your head when they asked, I guess, is what I'd like to know.
Yeah, so I'll kind of use what we're doing right now as that example. So, I don't even know when we started just hanging out and having our virtual cocktails together on Wednesdays. But when we said, hey, let's just start recording this. I don't really know what we're going to talk about. And I was like, yep, I'm in because I want to hang with Gargas. Let's do this, and it's kind of the same concept. When they reached out to me and said, here's what it's going to be called. It's going to be called Ambassador. It's going to be part of the Teach Better. You want to be in? That's all I needed to know. It's truly all I needed to know is now I had an excuse to hang out with you guys even more. Now I feel like I'm part of the group, and I get to just hang out with amazing people. And it's not about the programs. It's not about the process. It's truly about the people that matter. And I feel like every single one of the people that are a part of Teach Better, from you and Ray and Chad and Megan, Andrea, Caitlin, like everybody, Becky, there's amazing people that grow me. And I just love the connections that I make. So being a part of the ambassador program and being like officially connected to you guys now is so stinking exciting. So exciting just because you guys, you complete me.
Yeah, that's it's exciting. It's gonna be an interesting learning experience for us, and something I'm really pumped to watch. It's really cool to watch two people on the team, Megan and Andrea, take something. We had like a very like just kind of broad vision to start with, and they just kind of ran with it. And we check in and be like, hey, we're thinking this. What do you think? Yeah, sounds good. Or let's do it this way. Right? And just bouncing ideas, and then they just kept going. And like I said when we were live early, 10 months or whatever of them just putting in a lot of time and effort. It's been really cool to watch and then get to see them see it all happening now. It's like such a thrill for me to just see like them just so happy and so excited about it.
They are so stinking amazing. Like their energy is just contagious. It's incredible. Yes. Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah. Danielle says she will drink to that. Danielle, what are you drinking?
Me too.
She's on YouTube. I love it. She's always bringing in YouTube.
And Holly wanted me to spill all the ambassador secrets.
Yeah, well, I would like to know some secrets too.
One thing that I was told is that I am now Jeff's boss. So I now get to control everything in Teach Better Land. So just be ready. No, that's so far.
So something to know about that. You have to be aware, Dave. If you think that you're my boss, the one thing you have to understand is that I was never the boss to begin with.
That's true. Yeah. Okay.
Caitlin is the boss.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, actually.
Caitlin has been and apparently will always be the boss. No, Adam Ray isn't the boss. Get out of here. Ray's not the boss. She will tell you as well that Caitlin is the boss. We're not sure how that happened or when it happened, but it happened. If you really want to dig into it, I think she's very strategic and silent about it. But I actually think Michelle's actually the boss, and none of us have figured it out yet. Because she really does pull a lot of the strings, and we're not sure what's going on. So, what I know for sure is that I'm not the boss, and neither is Chad.
To be fair, though, you brought all these people on to try to give you guys some guardrails and direction, though, right? I mean,
trying to find the right boss, trying to find the right boss. But is Ray the star? Ray is definitely the star. That's definitely true. Boy, Matt's trying to win some Ray points. I don't think she's watching. You're good, dude. You can tell us what you really think of Ray. Yeah, I don't know. So I think that there's a great way to talk about that. Back to the ambassador, like just getting to hang out. I think that's a lot of what. A part of what it's about is that we wanted to bring more people in, more voices in, more perspectives in to help us continue to grow and help us continue to do that. So that ambassador group is really going to become even tighter knit area for us to go and learn and grow and try to highlight the things that are going on with you guys all as ambassadors. And I'm excited to watch it grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger. So there's more and more voices to pick up and people to highlight and stuff. So it's going to be super exciting to do and to watch. So keep an eye out. They said Monday. I'm going to have my toes in the sand. So like whatever at that point. So if you are watching, if you've been watching, the Pride collection is up on the swag site, and you can now use Schmittou as a discount code, save 25%. So that's up. If you've watched any live over the last 7 to 10 days, there's like 50 different discount codes that I've created for that swag site. So
I'm wondering, can you just go to your keyboard and start typing random stuff in and just get your discounts, or do you actually have to have the codes?
Adam, we'll see you, buddy. Yeah, you could probably guess. Honestly, there's probably a couple combinations you could try and get it right. I mean, earlier today is if you can guess how to spell Andrea's last name, which I thought was pretty good. Well, and there's like a 60% chance I spelled it incorrectly when I created your account, so it may or may not be ready for you anyway.
That's funny.
Anyway, so we've been talking for 38 minutes, so it's probably time for us to go. Do you have I wanted to talk about this before. Do you have webinars going on right now?
Yeah, I've got another one scheduled for Tuesday, Wednesday.
Tuesday. Are you doing the series again?
This is it's a 90-minute block for this one. It's
just the one-off.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. I think it's the one that you attended a couple weeks ago. This is a repeat of that one.
Okay.
The basics of standards-based grading and just trying to how do you start the conversations if you've got resistors among you, and how do you, if you're an administrator, how do you get your teachers started? Just really, how do you get the ball rolling if that's something that's intriguing to you? And then sometime middle of July, I don't have the dates with me. Put me on the spot, but I'll put them out there. Is the follow-up to that. I'm working with a couple of other individuals that the first one resonated with, and they said, okay, we're kind of there now. We want to get to the next level. So that's in the middle of July.
Best place to find that, just your website, follow you on Twitter. Follow you on Twitter, probably?
Yeah, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, my website. Again, if you can spell Schmittou to get that discount code, you're going to find me and you'll find information on that. So
you need to get the discount code and then go find Dave and get in the webinar. And then your new book is, do we know when that's coming?
I have a date, but I've been told I cannot say it because something might happen between now and then. It is the middle of July. I can say that. Got to see the cover this week, and I'm super, super stoked, super excited about it. Yeah, it's coming out real soon. It's called Making Assessment Work for Educators Who Hate Data But Love Kids. So
I love that. I like it. I got a sweet book in the mail the other day.
I saw that.
Finally
That's awesome.
came.
That's awesome.
So funny story. Like, I ordered this pre-ordered. Actually, no. I think I ordered the day it came out. Now that I'm gonna tell the truth, but like, I kept giving Hans updates. I'm like, hey, like, COVID, it's saying like between June 5th through the 12th, whatever. And then like it was the 5th, and it's like, oh, it's actually gonna come on the 18th. I'm like, and then it's like, hey, it's gonna come on the 11th. And then it was like, hey, it's coming on Friday. And then on Friday, it's like, sorry, it's delayed again. I'm like, what is going on, Amazon? And I'm giving Hans
everybody ordered that book. It was like everywhere.
So that's what happened. So anyway, so that came. That's awesome. So I'm looking forward to diving into that. Cool. Lots of books to get into and stuff. But Dave, pre-order you can order your book already?
Oh, well, funny thing, because she's a part of my email list. So people that are part of my email list got to pre-order signed copies. So
I see.
Yeah, Lindsay Titus is getting a signed copy sent her way as soon as I get it. That's awesome.
Wow, look at Lindsay being all exclusive and stuff.
Well, because she's an ambassador, we're like this.
That Lindsay actually told me that the only reason she said yes to be an ambassador is because she thought maybe she could use that as leverage to get a signed copy of your book. And I'm like, that's pretty like a lot to do for the book. Like, whatever, I get it. So, so good job, Lindsay. It worked out. That's great.
Well played.
Anyway, that's all I got. At this point, I'm gonna let you go. 41 minutes in, I gotta get on a podcast recording with the amazing Trey Gamage. If you don't know Trey and his The Dash awesome. Podcast, he's such a good dude. So I'm looking forward to recording with him tonight. I don't know what we're gonna talk about, but maybe just you. Danielle wants to know, where's the book? Oh, where's my book? What book? Do you want the book from Dave?
Did Daniel win something last week? Everybody won something last week. So
if you talk about the win stuff, Daniel, I'm working on. I promise you, they're coming.
I feel like I'm supposed to send out like 1,000 books or something.
A lot to go through. So I promise they are all coming. I'm working on all that, so you will have that soon. So as I tracked mine, I saw that there were 2 delays in Ohio. Holly, I gotta do what I gotta do. Okay, I was thinking, all right, what if I trip these guys up? I set up a roadblock, nothing crazy, no one got hurt, just the truck I set on fire, not a big deal. To block Amazon, I thought I could get on there. The guy actually ended up being very talented, was able to fight me off, so I didn't get it, and then it eventually should get to your house. So it was quite the adventure. Anyway, on that note, that complete line of BS. Holly, did you get your book yet? Anyway, doesn't matter. If I stole your book, too bad. You got to come to Ohio to get it. So, Dave, this was ridiculous, as always. I appreciate it. My brain is still a little bit mush, so I apologize to anyone who had to watch any of this. Some people are still hanging on. Make sure you use Schmittou to get 25% off at teachbetterswag.com. We got the Pride stuff up now. Don't worry, that's not like a limited time thing. That's going to be up there forever. We're going to continue to add to it. That's an important piece, something that we're very passionate about as well. So other than that, go sign up for Dave's email list, because maybe you can get a signed copy of his book, and check out, make sure you're following Dave so you can get into his webinar. It's really good. Especially if you have any interest in SBG, whether you're thinking about it or you're already into it and stuff, it's a good webinar to get into. Dave's a good guy to talk to through all that. So Dave, any last words from you, my friend?
I'm looking forward to seeing the beach in the background next week. So dip your toes in the water and do your thing.
We're going to do it live. We're going to do this again next week. I'll do it from my vacation. This does not stop. Everything else can stop while I'm out. This does not stop.
Well, like I told you an hour ago, it's actually my 20th anniversary, and I'm doing this today. So this does not stop.
Another thing to say. I'm trying to keep you on. I want to see what I can pull off here. No. So, Dave, on that note, happy 20th. Congratulations to your wife for putting up you for 20 years.
True story.
You somehow making that happen. So, enjoy. Are you guys doing anything? Going out to eat? Doing anything tonight? Or is it a weekend plan thing? Or
taking 4 kids with us somewhere here. I'm not quite sure what the plan is, but I'll go upstairs in a second and find out. So
that's awesome. That sounds like a good time to me. So, all right, you have a good one. Congratulations, everyone. See ya. Go use Schmittou at the store. Get some Pride gear, and appreciate you. We'll see you all.
Take care, guys.